All right, please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record. On mute.
Xavier Ledbetter, 725591.
All right, Mr. Ledbetter, my name is Brennan Kelsey. I'll be your chair. Along with me is Ms. Bonnie Jackson and Ms. Pearl Wise. Explain the process to you. We'll have a parole interview, ask you some questions. You can respond. At the end, you can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
And we have Ms. Desiree Kohler, who will be speaking at the appropriate time. Savannah Mansour will be speaking at the appropriate time. We have Jesse Semino here. That won't be speaking. And we have your attorney, Mr. Scott Nettles, who will be, he's here. Will speak at the end of the hearing. Xavier Ledbetter, DOC number 725591, your second class offender. Parole eligibility date 9/26/2021. Good time date 7/17/2027. Full term date 8/2/2027. 10-year sentence. Legal possession of stolen things over 1,500. Indecent behavior with a juvenile. Carnal knowledge of juvenile. It's like you were revoked on 12/21/2017. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would you answer Ms. Pearl Wise, please?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. It looks like you were scheduled for a hearing in July of this year, and it was continued, right? For your
Yes, ma'am.
request. Tell us why you wanted to continue. You remember?
Well, at the time, I was still enrolled inside of another program managing my life, and my lawyer had advised me that it would probably be best if I waited to continue the class, and so also he could prepare my paperwork better for the interview process.
Good. That's good. That's good to hear. And I'm glad you had that opportunity. Tell us off the top, why are you?
Ma'am?
Tell me why you in jail.
Well, I was initially arrested for possession of stolen goods. I stole a friend of mine's vehicle. I was later apprehended later that week by law enforcement in another parish. Later on, I was released continuously on bond. I had involved myself in a relationship with Miss Jordan, negligent of her age, but beside the point. It later came out that she was underage, and I was asked to turn myself in. I did turn myself in and give a full confession. And there was also another woman, Miss Braley. There was, when they got my phone and I gave it to her, they found out that she was underage, and me and her had engaged in illicit conversations.
But then you got probation for that, right?
Yes, ma'am. I was then released.
Why are you in jail?
Right. So I got probation for that. I was then released. Later on, I can't tell you exactly how much later. And then I was at the apartment complex where me and Miss Jordan met. Me and her had met, they do condolences and what, her mother caught her sneaking back in. And, it came out that me and her had engaged in activities together.
I just wanted to see how much awareness did you have of why you were in jail? Because you were given probation for this offense.
Yes,
And the
ma'am.
record indicate that you got probation on 9/18/17. Then in October, you reconnected with the victim, right? Then
Yes,
you got revoked in December of 17. So
Yes,
if you're successful today, what's gonna be different?
Well, I mean, I can't really give an excuse for my behavior. But I can't say that it was due to emotional trauma, alcohol and, drug usage. I've come to a point now in life where, I am engaged to another woman as it is right now. She is of age. My primary focus right now is making myself a better person and also being, emotionally available for me and my family. I have no desire, to go see her again. I wish her the best of luck, but, that as far as those kind of days, I've kind of put that behind me.
Okay, that's good to hear. It's very good to hear because how many victims did you have?
One with the car theft, one indecent behavior, and then the carnal knowledge. So 3 victims.
Okay, that's what I've done. Now, you were enrolled in the sex offender treatment program and then you got removed July 22nd of 1999. I think of 2019, I'm sorry. What happened? Why you got removed from that?
I was placed on disciplinary segregation pending investigation.
Oh, okay. So have you had the opportunity to get back in the sex offender treatment program?
Yes, ma'am. We just recently opened the class back up about 3 months ago after the COVID protocol ended. So I've been enrolled for the last 3 months.
Oh, good. So what phase are you in now?
I've completed phase 1. I'm currently in phase 2.
Okay, you're currently in phase 2. That's good to hear. Is that happening? Are you learning anything fast?
Yes, ma'am. I actually, that's probably one of my, I like a lot of the classes they teach here, but I feel like that's probably one of the most beneficial classes that the prison does offer. And I believe that's not just for sex offenders. I believe that should be a class that all offenders should be taking as it is.
Okay, good. But tell me 1 or 2 things you've learned in that class so far, off the top of your head.
Well, off the top of my head, that there are 27 risk factors. I feel like, and this goes again for all crimes, this isn't just pertaining to sex offenses, but 2 of the biggest risk factors they have is justification and denial. Justification is finding a way to enable your actions. Denial is not coming to terms or grips with the actions that you've committed. So again, those aren't specifically guided towards sex offenses. Those are guided towards everyday life. Then it goes into risk analysis, understanding that you have a negative peer or emotional group, understanding if you have a positive, emotional group that brings you closer to reoffending or brings you further away from reoffending.
Good. So tell us about the cell phone you had March 11th of 2021.
There's no explanation for it. Another offender, I had asked him if I could use his phone to call home for a second. He let me use the phone, and then a deputy had walked down on me and obtained the phone.
So you all right. Thanks for owning that. That's just, it is what it is. Are you being followed by mental health now?
Ma'am?
Are you being followed by mental health at the facility?
Are you being followed? Followed?
I mean, you have a regular time with them. Are you on any medications for mental health?
I'm currently taking a Prozac. So yes, ma'am.
And that seems to be working well?
Yeah, I think it's made a big improvement. Yes, ma'am.
Are you in general population?
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually a level 3 trustee.
Great. Because they are, the case record indicated some pretty concerning diagnosis. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. I think your next appointment with the mental health, I think is December the 19th of 22. So doing well, then you're not, in a hurry to speak to them again or anything like that. I know you know to speak up if that comes to be. And I do want to state for the record that your victims are opposed to your early release. Nothing you can do about it, but I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. And for me, now having completed the sex offender treatment program, and it was on supervision for a very short time, that's just concerning for me. Warren, what can you tell us?
Yes, ma'am. Xavier, he's been doing well. He's completed a lot of programs. He's been doing a good job. He speaks real well. I think he's on the right track. I would like to see him complete that sex offender program as well. But other than that, I think he's really on the right track.
All right, thank you, Warren. That's all I had.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Ledbetter. How are you? I'm Bonnie Jackson. I'm looking at your disciplinary record. You've talked to Mrs. Wise about the cell phone, but you also had something having to do with drugs. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
I believe this was in 2020. Another offender and I were found with synthetic mojo by the campaign.
Wasn't 2020. You had a write-up on March 12th of 21, and then you had another write-up, March 11th and October 24th of 21. And it looks like it had to do with substance use, but that was in 21, not in 20. So tell us what happened with that particular incident.
Ms. Jackson, the write-up from October of 21 was dismissed. It didn't reflect that in the record, but it was dismissed.
All right. Okay. Was that for the phone or for the substance?
That was for the dirty, the urine in October of 21.
So he tested positive for a substance?
Yeah, it was later dismissed
That may be,
after medical reviewed it. It was later dismissed.
okay, so they didn't think it was an illegal substance?
They ruled it as a false positive.
Okay, all right, thank you. I appreciate that information. That's
Right.
fine.
Okay, great. I will hear from Ms. Kohler now. Ms. Kohler. Okay.
As Xavier's mother, I realize it is expected that I will not be the most objective about my son's character. I can assure you that could not be further from the truth. I am painfully familiar with my son's reckless behavior, but I also know that he is capable of good, and I am determined to nurture that side of him. I have seen changes in my son that I am proud of. His attitude these past few years has improved, and he has expressed to me on many occasions that he wants to be the man I always knew he could be. I know this road for him is not easy, but I see him putting in the hard work necessary to get there. Me, his sister, his brother, grandparents, and so many others are here to support Xavier's road toward being the good man he wants to be. My son was always a good boy, kind, selfless, always willing to help others. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll hear from Savannah now.
My brother Xavier is my world. As an older sister, there have been times that I played the parent role for Xavier and our younger brother. So when he started making bad decisions, it hurt me and everyone else that loves him. I did not understand how the person I love so much could not want to stay out of trouble and to just be better. My family tried reaching out to him, pleaded that he stopped being so reckless, but he did not listen. At first, I was angry with my brother when he got arrested. Then reality sunk in that he might get the help he needs, and being in prison might be the safest place for him. When Xavier was first transferred to Elaine Hunt's correctional facility, he got worse before he got better. That has since changed. Xavier has learned to take accountability for his actions. He is not this hateful, angry person he once was. He has been going to AA meetings and plans to continue to go to them once he is out. Our mother plans on assisting him to stay on track with his sobriety. She has been in recovery for 12 years now. Xavier is eager to get a job and is eager to work. He is determined not to live off of our mother or any other family member. He is determined to get his own independence, and this is all he talks about. Xavier is becoming the man he once was, the man he used to be as we were growing up. I couldn't be more proud of him. I know support system is important in his release, and we are all more than willing to help Xavier on his path. He deserves it as he has put in the work for improvement. I look forward to Xavier being the man that I know he is more than capable of. He has shown me that he is eager to be a better person, a better son, and a better brother, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
All right, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you for your comment. All right, Xavier, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, sir. Just like, my family just voiced, I did get worse before I did get better. And I understand that I have, some hangups, especially with the sex offender rehabilitation. And again, I'm more than willing, and I understand, the ramifications for it. I'll be willing to take the class further on the streets if if I was released. I feel like the person I am today is the better version of myself, but there's always room for improvement.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Nettles, would you like to wrap it up for us? Yes. Go ahead. Thank you. They got the pole in the way. I know. The pole's in the way. That's okay. We got you.
So Xavier was 17, 18 years old, you know, and since he was high school age, very immature. We presented a letter from the city, highlighted some of the difficulties they had in their upbringing. I don't think he had the ability to make very good decisions at that point. He is definitely grown and mature since then. He's taken full responsibility for everything that he's done. He's enrolled in all classes and programs and been made accountable to him. It's unfortunate that COVID caused a delay in his ability to finish the second phase of the section program, but he's in it making progress and have no reason to believe he won't continue. He has support from his family, he'll be living with his mother. He has a job lined up. I think he should be able to hit the ground running and not reoffend. The biggest thing is just that he was so young and mature when this happened, and he's had a chance to grow up. I think it was progressing how it was.
I think that's
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you so much. All right, is a panel prepared to vote?
Yes, yes, I am.
Ms. Wise.
Xavier, I am glad to hear, how well you are doing as a person. I am glad to hear that. You didn't mention the victims and your impact on them. That's concerning for me. I know you gotta take care of you, and I'm glad you took that spot. But I would like to see you take victim awareness. I would like for you to take some substance abuse program and finish the sex offender treatment. Now, for me, this is something I don't usually do, but I encourage you to write back, reapply as soon as you're eligible for a rehearing. In view of, you do have law enforcement opposition and you have victims opposition, but I just want to commend you on the good work that you're doing. Best wishes to you. My vote is to deny today.
Ms. Jackson?
Ledbetter, you're a very intelligent young man. You really are. And I think that you are on the right track. Sometimes you have to get better, get worse before you can get better. And I know that you say you'll follow through with sex offender treatment, but I would prefer to know that you're going to get it because there's so many things that can come up, might pull you away from that. It could be transportation issues. It could be all kinds of issues that might pull you away from finishing the program. So I really want you to go ahead and complete it when you have the best opportunity to do so, which is right now. And I'd like to see you facilitate it because I think you are able to facilitate that for other inmates and maybe help them see things that someone other than an offender might not be able to see. But I think you're on the right track. I think you are going to make it. And so my vote today would be to deny, but encourage you to reapply after you have completed your sex offender treatment. And I'm confident that you will get a favorable result at that time. But my vote is to deny today. Encourage you to keep working and keep doing the things you're doing right now.
Right, you have two votes to deny, and I'm gonna be consistent as well. You know, I'm gonna vote to deny your parole after you complete the sex offender treatment. That's just really something that you need to complete. You do have law enforcement opposition and victim opposition. I'd like, you know, obviously see you go without any more write-ups. And if you complete your sex offender treatment and I'm on this panel next time, there'll be maybe a different outcome for me because you are doing well. But today my vote is to deny. 3 votes to deny. Your parole's been denied. Good luck to you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Yep.
So let's unpack this because this is really interesting to me. And I am not sure how I feel about this, frankly. The problem that I'm having here is I have no idea how old his victims were. I watched this now 3 times and I haven't heard it. I've looked up the case. What I was able to find is his birthday. I was able to find the date that he was rearrested after committing a poll violation. And his attorney mentioned his age, although it was nearly impossible to hear him say it, but because I have his birthday. So he was born September 20th, 1999, which would make him 17 years old at the time of the first offense. And then just turning 18 years old at the time of his parole violation. So frankly, if she was, like 15 or 16, I'm not saying that that's healthy or good, but it's similar to what happens in high school every day, right? It's like a senior dating like a junior type thing. So I really just can't have like strong emotions about this without knowing the victim's age. It's like I just can't. Like on one hand, if I found out that she was just a few years younger, I'd more be yelling at the system because the system is taking this young kid and throwing him into a penitentiary where he is bright, he is smart. He seems to have a great family or a good, solid family, and then throwing him in here, which could normally just wreck anyone. I mean, he's in general population, which makes me think again that his victims probably weren't super young, because I don't know if you would make it to general population. But again, without having that information, I can't really go one way or the other here. Obviously, he's really dumb. You get out on parole and then you go and reoffend with the same victim. Freaking, just for that, he's. But who doesn't do dumb things when you're 17, 18 years old? Let's be real. A lot of us are just lucky that we were never caught doing our dumb things. Carnal knowledge, for those of you who are curious, it's just the biblical or fancy word for intercourse. Then the indecent behaviors, the texting, and then he had the theft too. It's just too hard to really, but it's interesting that they're keeping him even longer. They want him to have these courses. Something I did catch, and it was interesting, they did point, that was it Miss Jackson that pointed it out? Or was it Miss Wise, that he hasn't really mentioned his victims? He did call his victims, his victim a woman. He said the first woman. So it's like, that stuck out for me because she's not a woman, she's a girl. So just by classifying her as a woman tells me that you're still like in denial. And then the bottom line is, in this sense, I could wrap up with this. If there was a dude chasing down my daughters and he was 17, 18 and I said no, and then I'd make sure he ended up in prison or worse. So in that sense, I totally get it. In that sense, I totally get it. And I'm sure a lot of you do as well. But it's just, again, without knowing her age, I can't steer my passion into this, much into this call. But I would, it's just a thing. He really wrecked his life. For the rest of his life, he's going to have to be on a registry. For the rest of his life, imagine being in these classes, these sex offender classes, and the type of people he's going to be in the room with. And imagine if she really was, only like a year younger than him or 2 years younger than him, and he's sitting there next to the dude who's committing incest, or next to the real it's just two different worlds. And then to have him teach the class, yeah, he'd be a good teacher, but he's just, again, if they were just a couple years younger, it's just not the same thing. You know, like, because I just don't know if he's someone, it doesn't seem like the same type of offense. Like it's not like a disease, right? It's not like a mental defect. It's just totally, it's just not. But again, we don't know the age. So with that, I'll let you go. If anyone can find out, I spent, you know, a good 20 minutes Googling it and I just couldn't find the information anywhere. But if you can find it, please do drop it in the comment section. All right.